What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, share it. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Got my those of you who are actually new, I am your hostess Rashid, and the other man on the other side of the panel there is Bedik.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. Big football guy here. He's the football analyst of the actual
sports analyst here.
That's right. Football analyst and great analyst at that too, man. You know.
Thank you very much.
Fox, ESPN, man. Watch out, baby. We coming at you, man. All right, so today's show is gonna be a big show today, man. Should the NBA players receive the vaccine, or should they not receive the vaccine? And there's a big problem with the NBA players wanting to take the vaccine, and the NBA players not willing to actually promote it, as we seen dumbass Stephen A. Smith today on First Take, shamefully actually just taking it and being a beta freaking cuck.
Is that what you call him?
Yes, sir. No leadership, man. As he would say, devoid of leadership. Well, Stephen A. Smith, you are. Okay. All right. Take us off, Barrick, man. Should the NBA players get the COVID vaccine? And we seen Dr. Fauci today on ESPN's First Take. And should they actually get this vaccine or not?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. My personal opinion is it depends on each player. I'm not gonna say yes or no on this one. I know you're gonna be like, yeah, have you on one side.
I agree with you there. I agree with you.
You know,
but be it what do you call it? An experimental. My thoughts are not there to the guy. Go ahead, Barrick. I'll get my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, listen. While you grabbing your thoughts, the bottom line is, a lot of the players basically have been very apprehensive of taking this particular vaccine, whether it's the Johnson & Johnson or it's the Pfizer vaccine, whatever the case may be. Guys are basically very apprehensive. It's funny because today, and I'm going to stay on topic, I just want to throw a very point. The Duke University basketball team had to forfeit their participation in the ACC tournament, as well as the NCAA tournament, because this is March now, as basketball has their big tournament time. They have to step down. Duke University has to step down. Why? Because one player on that team has been basically told that he now has the COVID-19 virus. So, to the question we're talking about, should these players take it? It's really tough because individually as a person, I'm not on board with it, but that's just me.
That's not the politically correct thing to say, Berg. You're supposed to say, take the shot.
No, I can't. I cannot be responsible for what other people do. But the bottom line is, most of these players have been very apprehensive, especially, I hate to say this, especially the black players. They have often come out and said they're very apprehensive. And the bottom line is they're not too sure what's going to happen. These are players that are used to doing certain things physically, putting certain things into their body, whereas vitamins or whatever the case may be, to keep them going, to keep them fresh, to keep them energetic, and to keep them playing at a high level. They put this vaccine in their body. They have no idea whatsoever where it's going to take them. It's a big fear factor. And I know you and I talked about it way behind closed doors and on our personal phone conversations about the fear factor, but these players have it. When you say the word apprehensive, that's because of the case. They do not know for sure if they want to put that into their bodies. They figure they take their vitamin D3 and the things they've been doing, and it's been working for them so far.
Yeah, we haven't had an NBA player even have any kind of symptom, really. There's a couple that have, but we can't even say whether it's COVID-19 or not because, let's say COVID-19, because the PCR test has been proved to have given a lot of false positives. And this has been all over the news and thousands of articles where the PCR test comes back. You have false positives and things like that. A football team will get tested. We seen what happened with Kevin Durant when they actually said, "Oh, you do have it, but then you don't have it." But okay, then you do have it. So the PCR test that they're actually giving, it's almost 95% off. It's not even looking for COVID, at all. It's looking for the brightest of a cold or flu virus, and if you had that, more than likely, yes, you're gonna come up positive. So again, it's not looking for COVID. You can go look this up on the PCR test, itself. So listen, with the vaccine, it's supposed to be a 5-year trial, literally, at minimum 5 years. There's supposed to be animal trials that's supposed to be conducted with this. They're skipping the animal trials. So now you're telling people to actually be an experimental test dummy in a sense, though. And we know definitively from the CDC that the virus is a 99.6% recovery rate. So why? What are we doing here? 99.6% recovery rate.
Right. Well, that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying. They're saying the Johnson & Johnson version is giving you a 70% chance of protection, whereas the Pfizer is giving you 90% protection. So when we talk about recovery rate versus what the vaccine can do, and still people are catching it because they probably had it before they hit the vaccine. Listen, this thing jumps all over the place. And at the very end of the day, these basketball players do not want to jump the line. They do not want to jump the concept of telling the people from the outside looking at the general public that we're going to get it first. The players have been standing back and letting everyone in order receive their vaccines. But, Adam Silver basically sat back and, told the general public that they can get their vaccines. And once everything is done, we'll worry about the professional ball players. But while that's going on, these professional ball players, the basketball players themselves, have chosen to take this time and see if they're going to do this or not. Personally, in my personal opinion, I don't think you're going to find one NBA player that's going to take this vaccine. All right? They understand the seriousness of this, but they know their livelihood depends on their ability to get on the floor and perform at a high level. They have trust in a system in which if they do acquire this, if they do find a way to get this vaccine, then great. They find a way, if something happens somewhere they do have the virus, then they trust in the system to help them get better.
Because we're doing all this isolation. You got to remember, I said this in last week's video. Michael Jordan played in with the flu. He had to be carried off the court.
So the flu
kills between 80 to 100,000 people a year. It gives us about a 1.2% kill rate. COVID is a 99.6% kill rate, giving it a 99.6% recovery rate, giving it a 0.3% kill rate. So the flu is actually much more potent than COVID in a sense, though. So what are we doing here? I'm hearing idiots like Mark Cuban. I'm going to listen to Dr. Fauci. Well, Dr. Fauci's been wrong. He told you 2.5 million deaths. They said 2 million. Now, Barrick, you go into a court of law, and you testified. The lawyers, whoever's going to cross-examine you, they're going to write down exactly what you say. And then let's say, all right, so you say something to a grand jury. They believe you. They indict whoever it is that you're a witness to. You come back to trial, and your story's totally different. Guess what? You have no credibility at all. None. So we've seen Fauci 5 times it was wrong and twisting his stories. He tells you not to wear a mask. Then you got to wear a mask. And then if you do take the vaccine, you still got to wear a mask. You still got to social distance. So in a sense, you're telling me indirectly that the vaccine doesn't work because I still have to wear a mask. I still have to social distance. Still got to keep things closed off. So you're saying that indirectly you're telling me it does not work.
This is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Leroy Sims. He's the league's senior vice president of medical affairs. He's informed players and he's provided programs to educate these teams and players on the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine, including mandatory team seminars. So basically what he's saying is, we know Dr. Fauci is going to go on CNN and other places and basically say what he's going to say. Yeah, the timeline will probably be prolonged to mid-May or early June. Okay, that's Dr. Fauci's feelings on the situation. The bottom line is, I like the fact they involved Dr. Leroy Sims on this. Dr. Leroy Sims is the guy that most people are not even talking about. All right, he is behind the scenes, basically educating these players and teams about what's going to happen if you take the virus. I mean, if you take the vaccine. So I like that, but is that going to change the player's mind? We just don't know. Every individual player in the NBA is their own person. They have families at home, et cetera, et cetera. Whenever they go on the road or when they're playing in these arenas, now that the arenas are now opening to 25% capacity, 35% capacity, you take that home to your family. Well, Dr. Leroy Sims is telling them this is a way to bridge the gap between what goes on the floor, traveling, and going home. If you can convince the player,
you're telling me, the NBA has a weird rule that they don't have to wear the mask when they're playing. They're breathing heavy, sweating on each other.
There you go.
When they sit on the sideline, they gotta wear a mask. Come on, man, guys.
Well, listen,
I went into a restaurant. I went into a restaurant last week. No, it was a couple of weeks ago. Got some food. It was a pickup order, but they were doing dining. So I went there. Mask was actually slightly below my nose. The guy was like, "Sir, your mask is not all the way covered. It's like 95%." I'm like, well, you're walking around people sitting sitting down eating with no mask on, right? You know that, right? See, you see the level of brainwashing that's going, the level of mind control, the level of remedialness, in a sense, though. I want to be nice here. That's actually going on here, man.
Right. Well, that's what's going to be happening, my brother. That's what's going to happen with practically every individual. We're going to wear the mask. But, we keep forgetting, wear the mask when you're in a closed environment with numerous amount of people. But when you go on the basketball floor, these guys are on top of one another. You remember when Magic Johnson came out and said he had the HIV virus? Remember that?
I remember that.
Okay. This is going to be the best example of what goes on. The moment the word came out, guys like Karl Malone said, I didn't want to play. What if I touch him, I start bleeding, and etc. So it just went on and on and on. Well, they decided to go out there and play, right? They barely touched Magic, but they went out and played. You see what I'm saying? Same thing right now. You have a virus where HIV is a lot more serious, right?
Yeah.
Because once it's in your system, that's it. But yet they play. So we can find a way to play within this situation right now as well. But this is the requirement. This is the so-called quote-unquote requirement. You must wear a mask on the sideline. You must stand distance when you're having a pre-game or post-game interview, right? We're not doing the same. We don't have all the reporters and the beat writers in the same room asking players various questions. Now they're doing it remotely, but yet we're on the floor. Now we're going to put 10 to 15, 25, 35% capacity in fans, which is asinine in one sense, because look at the baseball stadium. Look at the Yankees and other teams. They can't have no more than 15% capacity. That's an open stadium. And you're allowing more people in a closed arena.
Well, so they have to take a COVID test or have certificate of a vaccine. And I'm like, when I tell you these guys, just screw them all.
I mean,
take no damn test. Again, it's the 99.6% recovery rate. It's killing the economy. People are actually losing their businesses. And Barstool Sports, man, I'm calling you bitch asses out, man. I'm calling you guys out. $1 for every T-shirt that you guys actually sell to a small business. You can sell 1 million. Y'all guys, man. I swear to God, man.
Listen, man. Like I said, again, don't forget the name I put out there, man. Dr. Leroy Sims. Okay, don't forget that name I put out there, because this is the guy that's going to try to tackle this thing from below, not Dr. Fauci. He's going to try to tackle this thing from below. He's going to try to educate the players and the teams and their owners of what to do and how safe it will be.
Read the package insert on the vaccine. That's it. There's your education right there. Just like on any drug, you listen to the commercial, and it tells you can't give you this, can't give you that. You get the fact sheet, and it's all right there. Don't let yourselves get hoodwinked. Don't do it to yourselves, man. I care about you. Even though if you don't care about your damn selves, I care about you. I really do, man. I really do care about you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. NBA players right now are worried about the one thing. Does this shot, and will it affect my performance on the court? This is the main thing that ball players are thinking about. We can go political about the recovery rate and all that other stuff. But on this whole thing itself, the ball players themselves, they will be more than willing to take it if it would not alter their ability to perform on the court. This is their bread and butter. This is how they take care of their family. This is what we got right now. So we ask the question, should they take it? It depends. I'm not going to say yes or no on this one. My take is it depends on the individual ball player. Let them make the decision for themselves.
All right. We'll wrap this up over here. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, definitely comment, share it. Let us know what you actually think about this whole topic. This is a very, very important topic there. And definitely share it, man.